I still got pepperoni in my teeth. That's my breakfast.
Maybe we should have gave Steve Beaton some funky dance. 108!
I'll have to play off 1 foot, I think, will I? Makes sense now.
I'm still working that one out.
Something Richie Burnett has got horribly wrong.
I was going to get...
Hello and welcome along to the Dart Swap Challenge here at the MODUS Super Series, where two former world champions will be playing with the other's darts. Yes, Steve Beaton and Richie Burnett will be playing in the latest edition of this challenge, the winners of the BDO World Championships in 1995 and 1996 respectively. But can they do it with the other players' arrows? Now, Steve and Richie are two completely polarising characters. It's also fair to say that their equipment is a little bit different to one another. How do you think the pair will get on in this?
I don't see this one being too drastic. We've got different weights, we've got different grips, but they're both a straight barrel dart. They both use very similar sort of setups in regards to the dynamics and the balance point of the throw. Now, what I do expect they're going to be able to keep the dart straight. I think they'll struggle a little bit with height, certainly to begin with. Maybe more so Richie Burnett using Steve Beaton's darts. If there's going to be a miss, I'm expecting to see it left, going more towards the fives. But I think we could be in for quite a decent level of play here.
Describe the features of both players' darts in terms of just the mechanics of it.
With the darts, the balance point is very, very similar in regards to that. Now, the grip, we see Richie Burnett grips more towards the front of the dart, Steve Beaton towards the back. So with that, we're not going to get a change in terms of sort of the aerodynamics of the dart as such. It's going to fly very similar, which is why I think we're going to be able to get that line. Now, there are certain people that have different types, different shapes, scallops in them. A lot of the time when we look at the grip patterns of the dart, which is kind of the real different feature here, that is more just personal preference. It doesn't affect so much the way the dart flies through the air. It's all about shape and balance, of which these are very, very similar.
You've got no fears, have you, about these guys in terms of dealing with the challenge ahead?
No, I think they're going to do quite well with this. I think Richie Burnett will struggle first few throws. I think once he gets into it, once he has a couple, and that's the thing, the players will adjust very quickly. Once you've got your technique right, once you're balanced, once you've got your posture, once you've got your release, you can tend to find you can adapt to any dart. And then the dart that you choose is just one that feels comfortable, one that feels relatable to you. But you can realistically throw anything to a reasonable standard, but just for that psychological edge, you want your own darts.
The Rolls Royce of Steve Beaton or the rough tumble and kick of Burnett?
I think Steve Beaton's going to be able to adapt to any dart a lot easier. So for me, I'm going to go with Steve Beaton in this one.
Right, let's get it on. I caught up with both players earlier on this morning. Richie, Steve, first of all, do you both know why you're here?
Not a clue, but what do you think?
Why we're here? What do
Yeah.
you mean?
So you're participating in the Dart Swap Challenge today.
Right.
First of all, are you looking forward to this?
No, yeah, why not?
Steve, you've done this once before, haven't you?
Was it for? Yeah. It went well last time, so that should be all right.
Whose darts did you use last time?
Devon, was it? Devon Peterson's? I think I was up with Devon. I don't know, I can't remember now. I can't remember last week, so don't ask me about a few weeks ago. Right.
I was actually going to ask you about that experience, so we'll move on from that. Richie, you're going to be playing in the Dart Swap Challenge. What do you think the differences are going to be?
I'll have to play off 1 foot, I think, will I? Makes sense now.
So obviously both of you got different types of equipment.
I'm still working that one out.
So both of you playing with different types of equipment. Steve, what do you think is going to be the biggest difference playing with Richie's darts compared to playing with your own?
Obviously the feel, innit? I mean, you get so used to your own darts, don't you? I think Richie's probably slightly longer than mine as well, so that'll be the slight difference. And he's got square flights and I've got pear shape, so it's a few differences. But I do it regularly in exhibitions, and so Richie does as well. Swap darts with people and that lot, so you get used to throwing with other people's anyway.
Richie, what do you think the biggest difference is going to be throwing Steve's darts?
His are going to be shorter. Mine are longer. Makes sense now. Yeah, so that's about it.
Confident, the pair of you?
This early in the morning. Yeah.
We haven't even had a throw yet.
No.
Anything could happen.
I still got pepperoni in my teeth. That's my breakfast.
He's still eating his breakfast, yeah.
So, yeah, looking forward
Couldn't you
to
have
it.
done this at the end of the day?
I'm not in charge of these decisions. I'm just merely paid to ask rubbish questions.
Right.
Well, we got an excuse before we start if we're rubbish anyway.
Yeah.
Right, we'll leave you two to it. Good luck, lads.
All right, thank you, man. Cheers.
Right, do you want to swap darts and we'll bull off?
Oh, excuse me.
That's a 25. And that's outside. First leg, it's Steve to throw first. Game on.
So this is the Dart Swap Challenge, where Steve Beaton, the
85.
1996 World Champion, is throwing the darts to the 1995 World Champion Richie Burnett, and vice versa.
57.
Amazing to think that these two have won World Championships 30 years apart. But can they win with the opponent's
43.
dart? 30 years ago, shall I say, 30 years apart.
Well saved. Well saved.
100.
Well, as Richie Burnett said, we're recording this first thing in the morning. He's still got a pepperami in his tooth, and I've still got to wake up.
I think the challenge here is the fact that the players haven't even had a throw
100.
yet. Never mind the fact they're playing with each other's darts. Now, as a player, normally you want a good couple of hours before you play any sort of game in which it's
58.
competitive or semi-competitive or a leg of 501 as such. But what did I say before a dart was thrown? If he's going to miss, he's going to miss
95.
left. It'll be the highs and lows that will be the problem here for Richie Burnett. I think he'll be able to keep these straight.
96.
We mentioned earlier that Steve Beaton's got the type of throw that probably could adjust to anything quicker than
94.
most.
And he says himself, he does this sort of thing all the time, doesn't he, in the exhibitions? So, nothing unusual here.
Oh, I want to leave the bottle then.
85. Steve require 84.
So Beaton looking at 84. I'm going to treble 19, not to be on this occasion.
44.
Burnett will
Richie require
look at 105
105.
to get the break and to take the opening rubber of this first of three contest.
Oh, surely not.
I mean,
Oh,
this is the big number. It's when you move around the board that
Oh,
you'll
where
notice
is
the
that?
problem so much. But
hello?
unlike when we're
33.
playing our regulation Super Series, this time Richie Burnett sees the funny side.
90. Steve require 40.
Double top for Beaton.
Game
To
shot
take
of
the first leg
Steve
of
Beaton.
this challenge
deflection.
match.
Bad leg that
Second
for
leg
Steve, was
is
it?
Richie to
He was
throw
right.
first.
He can adapt to other people's darts quite easily. Maybe we should have gave Steve Beaton some funky darts.
108.
Oh, I don't know.
I get the sense Richie Burnett enjoyed that.
Quite like a flashback, wasn't it, to old school
60.
darts? Remember the days of Bristow would turn around and give a little bit to his opponent, wouldn't he? Something nowadays that would see social media go into a meltdown.
66.
56.
And suddenly, Burnett has found a second wind on the Beaton darts.
96.
I wonder if
45.
just play along. Let's say Richie Burnett went up and hit a 9 darter, for example, with the Steve Beaton darts. Do you think then maybe he'd ask
45.
Steve to borrow them to play in the actual Super Series with?
I think I know what the answer would be.
As long as it's not against me.
81.
We've seen people use other people's equipment before, haven't we? Certainly here at the Super Series.
Well, they're players. I haven't bought spare sets of stuff. and I've
27.
had to-
Richie
Was it
require
Gino
129.
Voss who had to play with Jerome Mirk's darts for a couple of days because Gino's darts got lost in the luggage from Schiphol Airport, and so he had to play with somebody else's darts.
93.
There's a surprise.
Amsterdam Schiphol and luggage. I don't know what you're on about.
100.
not gonna get it.
Richie require 36.
Burnett double 18 to level up at 1-1.
Game shot on the second leg. Richie Burnett.
Yeah, I said with the double first dart. It's the darts it is, I can see now.
Third leg, it's Steve to throw first.
I've never seen Richie Bennett enjoy himself so much on the hockey.
60.
He's had his pepper army now. He's ready for action.
I wonder if it was
55.
the regulation one or the really spicy one.
Do you know what? I've never had a pepper army in my life.
Didn't take long to turn it back to yourself,
God.
did you?
44.
2 legs, well done.
Well, if you're interested in my thoughts,
140.
Only the second
Good darts,
180
isn't
of
it,
this
Richie?
game.
Yeah,
Richie
thank
Bennett with the only one so far.
These are
41.
It's all smiles, isn't it? Everyone's enjoying themselves.
Jack Garwood taking the mickey out of that visit.
60.
Might as well put him in a dart swap challenge because he can't throw of his own.
60.
Oh.
42.
Well, you'd imagine as the players got more used to the darts, they'd get better. It seems
81.
to be going the other way.
Oh, that's a bugger.
Honeymoon period, the novelty may be wearing off.
45.
Yeah.
Well,
That's me.
there's one thing, you can swap the darts, but it doesn't change the mathematics. That's something Richie Bennett has got horribly wrong there.
135.
I
was gonna get.
Richie required a calculator.
Was that a bit of banter from Jack Garwood? I didn't even know he had those
97.
capabilities.
Pressure's
Steve
on.
require 80.
Is that 5?
There's that 5 drift again. Maybe looking 25 and ball now, Steve Beaton. That was the intended target.
Yeah.
20. Richie requires 62.
This to take the lead for the first time in this game.
Game shot on the
Oh,
third
Richie
leg.
Bennett.
Richie Bennett.
A leg
Going
away
first
from
up
being the
the
dart
films, isn't it?
swap master.
It's not best of 5. Oh, are you kidding me? I put everything into that leg.
Fourth leg, it's Richie to throw first.
Richie Bennett getting confused with the ruling of best of 3 and first of 3. He thought he was the champion. He thought he had done the job. No, Richie. You need one more.
100.
It's done a Glenn Durrant.
Or maybe Richie's just thinking, that's great, I can get back in now and get my pepper
81.
army on the go. He's going to have to wait a bit longer.
You much of a pepper army guy, Matt?
100.
Not this time in the morning, no. I'm just looking at the group here. It should be safe. There's certain people that you put them in a practice room,
60.
and I guarantee you do not want to leave a pepperoni uneaten on the side. This practice room that these guys are in, that should be fine. Your pepperoni is safe, Richie.
What's your go-to
81.
breakfast?
And he's scraping the barrel with these questions, aren't we?
134.
I like an Eggs Benedict.
Oh.
Pass a
81.
nice greasy fry up.
Oh dear.
There's that left again.
45. Richie require 139.
He's got him beat here. Can he finish the job?
Oh.
43.
Well, Steve Beaton won the first leg of this match, but Burnett rallying off a couple in a row.
131.
And he's
Richie
got an
require
opportunity to win this
96.
contest here if he could take out 96. Which is ironically the year Steve Beaton won the World Championship.
Prediction time. Steve Beaton's going to go for the ball.
Steve, you require 50.
He's going to go for the bullseye.
Is he now?
Oh,
Yes, he is.
I did.
Well, he tried.
30. Richie, you require 49.
So to win this challenge match, 49 for Richie Burnett, double 16. Crowns him
shot.
the dart swap
Richie
champion.
Burnett.
God for that.
It's cold in here. Come on.
The darts. Come on, they're freezing.
No, my hands are freezing.
Jesus Christ.
Pepperami haven't kicked in yet.
Right.
Richie, you share the world championship each, but you've just taken the glory with the dart swap challenge. How you feeling?
Over the moon. My hands a bit cold, you know, so maybe if they keep like that, I might have another chance.
Steve, any excuses?
No, just the darts, really. Terrible.
Does the pepperami taste sweeter now?
I don't know whenever I got all of it now.
Well, off you go then. See you in a bit, boys.
Cheers, wonderful. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Really prepared me for the day.